Hello friends, welcome to UGC PG Pathshala. Today we will cover a topic on interaction of electromagnetic radiation with surface and atmosphere. We will cover these few important topics: electromagnetic radiation, principles and electromagnetic spectrum, interaction of electromagnetic radiation with atmosphere, interaction of electromagnetic radiation with earth surface, spectral response of material. And start with the introduction. Electromagnetic radiation is a form of energy that is all around us in many forms such as visible rays, radio waves, microwave, X-rays and gamma rays. Our environment has always played a role with radiation, either originating naturally or man-made radiation. Radiation has always been associated with the nuclear energy and is easily misinterpreted. Heat radiations originating from sun and thermal sources are the lifeline of planet. Energy in radiation. Energy in radiation, energy incident on the earth's surface from different source is absorbed, transmitted and reflected depending on the wavelength of radiation and characteristics of earth's surface. Incident energy is reflected or re-emitted from the surface is recorded by sensors in satellite. These recorder signals are interpreted and analyzed to identify different features on surface. Energy can be transferred from one matter to another matter by three basic mechanisms that are conduction, convection and radiation. Conduction, it occurs when both the radiating bodies are in physical contact with each other. For example, when a metal pan is heated by a hot plate, both energy transferring and receiving bodies are in physical contact with each other. This process of energy transfer is known as conduction. Convection is a process in which energy transferring from one place to another by physically moving of the bodies. For example, the heating of the air near the ground in the morning hours, the warmer air near the surface rises, setting up convectional currents in the stratosphere. Radiation is energy that comes from a source and travels through some material or through space. All materials radiate thermal energy based on the temperature. Example, sun is the major source of radiating energy. Electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation is the radiant energy released by electromagnetic process. Electromagnetic radiation consists of electromagnetic waves which are synchronized oscillation of electric and magnetic field that travels with a speed of light through vacuum. The oscillations of two fields are perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation of waves as shown in figure 1. Electromagnetic wave created whenever an electrical charged particle accelerated, and these waves can subsequently interact with any charged particle. Electromagnetic waves carry energy, momentum and angular momentum away from their source particle and can impart those quantities to matter with which they interact. Wavelength is the mean distance between consecutive maximum or minimum and is measured in micrometers or nanometers. Frequency is the number of wavelength passed through a point per unit time. The relationship between the wavelength and frequency is inversely proportional to each other. Means if wavelength will be maximum, that times shorter the wavelength, higher will be the frequency. When electromagnetic radiation passes from one medium to another, the speed of light and wavelength changes while the frequency remains same. Electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic wave is characterized by either frequency or wavelength which determine the position in electromagnetic spectrum, which consists of radio waves, microwave, infrared waves, visible lights, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, gamma rays, and as in figure 2, radio waves. Radio waves are the lowest range of electromagnetic spectrum with the frequency of 30 GHz and wavelength greater than 10 millimeters. Radio waves are primarily used for communication, including voice data, objects in space such as planets and comets, giant clouds of gas and dust, and stars and galaxies emit light at many different wavelengths. Some of the light they emit has very large wavelengths, sometimes as long as miles. These long wavelengths are in radio region of electromagnetic spectrum. Radio waves travels at the speed of light. When passing through an object, they are slowed according to that object's permeability and permittivity. Microwaves fall in range between radio and infrared waves. They have a frequency of 3 GHz to 30 GHz and a wavelength of about 10 millimeter to 100 millimeter. They are used for high bandwidth communication, radar and microwave ovens. Radar wavelength and frequency used in active microwave remote sensing investigation as shown in table 1. Microwave travel by line of sight. Unlike lower frequency radio waves, they do not diffract around hill, follow earth surface as ground waves, or reflect from the ionosphere. So terrestrial microwave communication are limited by visual horizon to about 40 miles. Infrared waves. Infrared falls between microwave and visible light range. They have a frequency range between 30 terahertz to 400 terahertz and wavelength of 100 micrometer to 740 nanometer. Infrared light is invisible to human eye, but the heat intensity can be felt. The basic application of infrared get counted in the field like military application and for civilian purposes. Military applications include target acquisition, surveillance, night vision, homing and tracking. Non-military uses include thermal efficiency analysis, environmental modeling, industry facility, inspection, remote temperature sensing, short-range wireless communication, spectroscopy, weather forecasting, etc. Relationship such as these suggest we can utilize radiators placed at some distance from an object to measure its radiant temperature, while correlates well with the object's true kinetic temperature. This is the basis of thermal infrared remote sensing. Visible light. Our eyes can detect only tiny part of electromagnetic spectrum called visible light. Visible light are the wavelength which human eyes can see. Wavelength lies between the range of 380 nanometer to 740 nanometer and frequency about 400 terahertz to 800 terahertz. A white light is made up of whole range of colors mixed together. Each color has different wavelengths. Red has the longest wavelength, whereas violet has the shortest wavelength as shown in figure 4. Ultraviolet light is in the range of between visible light and X-rays. It has frequency of about 8 into 10 raised to power 14 to 8 into 10 raised to power 16 Hz and wavelength of 380 nanometer to 10 nanometer. It has been used for various medical and industrial applications. Ultraviolet wavelength of 320 to 400 nanometer called UVA responsible for formation of vitamin D, by the skin, and on other hands causes sunburn and cataracts in eyes. UVB falls within 290 to 320 nanometer, causes damage at the molecular level of fundamental building block of life DNA as it readily absorbs UVB. The following diagram shows the various uses which electromagnetic spectrum provides its different bands. Figure 5. X-rays, an electromagnetic wave of high energy and very short wavelength which is able to pass through material opaque to light. Maximum of X-rays has wavelength ranging from 0.01 nanometer to 10 nanometer. X-rays are classified into two types, soft X-rays and hard X-rays. Soft X-rays comprise the range of electromagnetic spectrum between UV and gamma rays, have the frequency of 3 into 10 raised to power 16, about 10 raised to power 18 Hz. Hard rays occupy the region same as gamma rays. X-rays has the properties of penetrating various thickness of all solids. X-rays has vast application in medical science field. Gamma rays. Gamma rays are high energy waves having frequency greater than 10 raised to power 18 Hz. Gamma radiation causes damage to the tissues and can be used for curing cancer cells. Gamma rays are the most energetic form of light and are produced by hottest region of the universe. Natural source of gamma rays on Earth are naturally occurring radionuclides, particularly potassium-40. Potassium-40 is a radioactive isotope of potassium. It can be found in soil, water, and also in meat and bananas. Emission of electromagnetic energy is governed by two major laws of physics. One is the Stefan-Boltzmann law. The Stefan-Boltzmann law is named after two Austrian physicists, Joseph Stefan and Ludwig Boltzmann. All objects above absolute zero emits electromagnetic radiation. Sun is the initial source of energy. Sun at 5570 to 6000 degree Kelvin, black body, the construct that absorbs and radiates energy at the maximum possible rate per unit area at each wavelength for a given temperature. The total emitted radiation from a black body measured is proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature measured in Kelvin. This signifies that amount of energy emitted by an object is the function of temperature of the body. The greater the temperature, the greater the amount of radiating energy emitted by the object. It is summarizes from explanation that the total emitted radiation from the sun is the greater than that emitted by the 300 degree Kelvin of Earth. Planck's radiation law. Planck's radiation law, a mathematical relationship formulated in 1900 by German physicist Max Planck, explained the spectral energy distribution of radiation emitted by a black body. Planck assumed that the source of radiation is atom in a state of oscillation and that the vibrational energy of each oscillator may have any of a series of discrete values but never any value between. Planck further assumed that when an oscillator changes from a state of energy E1 to a state of lower energy E2, the discrete amount of energy E1 minus E2 or quantum of radiation is equal to the product of frequency of the radiation. Planck's law for the energy radiated per unit volume by a cavity of a black body in the wavelength interval lambda to lambda plus delta lambda can be written in terms of Planck's constant, the speed of light, the Boltzmann constant, and the absolute temperature. The wavelength of the emitted radiation is inversely proportional to its frequency, or lambda is equal to C upon nu. EMR interaction with atmosphere. Irrespective of the source, all the radiation is detected by the remote sensor. Particles and gases in the atmosphere can affect the incoming light and radiation. These effects are caused by mechanism of scattering and absorption. A brief description of the Earth's atmosphere is in order. The major component of dry air in the lower atmosphere are nitrogen and oxygen, with the remaining 1% composed of argon, carbon dioxide, N2O, and ozone, and several other trace gases. Also, the lower atmosphere contains highly variable quantities of water vapor, usually making up 1 to 3% by volume. In addition to these nuclei, there are solid and liquid particles such as many types of dust, salt from the oceans, spores, pollen, mist and clouds, raindrops, etc. The colloidal sized particles are often referred to as aerosols. The atmosphere has no definite thickness. Its density and pressure decreases more or less exponentially with height above the surface. Traces of nitrogen and other molecules can be found cut to 500 km, but 99% of the atmosphere is below 30 km and half is below 6 km. The lower region up to about 15 km is called the troposphere. It is the region of strong convection mixing due to solar heating of the ground surface. This region contains a large fraction of total atmospheric mass, particularly the trace gases, water vapor and particulate matter. Essentially, all clouds and weather are in the troposphere. Above the troposphere is the stratosphere, where the temperature rises again to ultraviolet radiation absorption to about -2 degrees centigrade at 50 km. Above the stratosphere is the mesosphere, and beyond 85 km is the thermosphere, where the temperature rises again due to the absorption of very high energy ultraviolet radiation, as shown in figure 6. Scattering. Scattering is an optical phenomena by the radiant energy while interacting with the atmosphere deviate in all directions from its original path. Scattering theory is a framework for understanding of scattering of waves and particles. Scattering is the process by which small particles suspended in the medium of a different index of refraction diffuse a portion of the incident radiation in all directions. With scattering, there is no energy transformation but a change in the spatial distribution of the energy. Scattering along with absorption causes attenuation problem with radar and other measuring devices. Agents of scattering: the incident solar radiation is reflected and scattered primarily by clouds, particulate matter and various gases. Atmospheric scattering disperses radiation in all directions. The important scattering agent are gaseous molecules, suspended particulates, aerosols and clouds. Atmosphere modifies the frequency, intensity and spectral distribution and the direction of the incident radiation passing through it. Effects of scattering. Scattering of electromagnetic radiation by the atmospheric constituents leads to adverse effect in remote sensing. It reduces the image contrast and it changes the reflectance characteristics of ground objects as seen by the sensor. Types of scattering. There are three major types of scattering. One is relay scattering, second is Mie scattering, third is non-selective scattering. Relay scattering occurs when the effective diameter of the matter such as oxygen and nitrogen in the atmosphere are many times smaller than the wavelength of the incident electromagnetic radiation. All scattering is accomplished through absorption and re-emission of radiation by atoms or molecules of air particles. It is impossible to predict the direction in which a specific atom or molecule will emit a photon. Hence, scattering, the energy required to excite an atom is associated with short wavelength and high frequency radiation. The following graph shows the relation between wavelength and intensity of scattered light, figure 7. The approximate amount of relay scattering in the atmosphere in optical wavelength may be computed using the relay scattering cross section. The effect of relay scattering is inversely proportional to the wavelength, that is, shorter wavelengths are scattered more than the longer wavelengths. Most relay scattering by gas molecules takes place in the atmosphere between 2 to 8 kilometers above the ground. Relay scattering is responsible for blue appearance of the sky. The shorter violet and blue wavelengths are more efficiently scattered than the longer orange and red wavelengths. Relay scattering is also responsible for red sunset since the atmosphere is a thin shell of gravitationally bound gases surrounding to solid earth. Sunlight must pass through a longer slant path of air at sunset than at noon, as shown in figure 9. Since the violet and blue wavelengths are scattered even more during their longer path through the air than the sun, when the sun is overhead, what we see when we look towards the sunset is the wavelength of sunlight that are hardly scattered away, all especially orange and blue, as shown in figure 8. The second type of scattering is Mie scattering. It is also referred as non-molecular or aerosol scattering. It is generally taken place when the molecular size of the atmosphere is equal to the size of the wavelength of incident energy. It normally takes place in the lower 4.5 kilometer of the atmosphere. This scattering is caused by particles with radius between 0.1 and 10 micrometer, such as dust, smoke and aerosols. The amount of scatter is greater than relay scatter and the wavelength scattered are longer. Higher amount of smoke and dust particles in the atmosphere column, the more violet and blue light will be scattered away and only the longer orange and red wavelengths lights will reach to our eyes. Third kind of scattering is non-selective scattering. It occurs when the atmospheric particle size are much greater than the incident radiation. These particles generally bound in the lowest part of atmosphere, so non-selective scattering takes place in lower part of atmosphere. This is called non-selective scattering, as wavelength of light are scattered not just blue, green or red. Thus the water droplets and ice crystals that make up cloud and fog banks scatter all wavelengths of visible light equally well, causing the cloud to appear white, as shown in figure 10. Scattering can severely reduce the information content of remotely sensed data to point that the energy loses contrast and it is difficult to differentiate one object from another. Another major phenomena is absorption. Apart from scattering, the molecules in the atmosphere absorb solar radiation. Most of the absorption occurs in broad bands in the infrared region, that is 700 nanometer. This is due to vibrational absorption primarily by water vapor molecules and to a lesser extent by carbon dioxide molecules. Since most of the water vapor is in the lower atmosphere, most of the infrared radiation absorption occurs in the lower 5 km of the troposphere. Although the energy is initially absorbed by the water and carbon dioxide molecules, it is very rapidly converted to a random kinetic energy of all the molecules, resulting in warming of the lower atmosphere. In addition to vibrational infrared absorption, there is also electronic absorption by atmospheric molecules almost entirely by oxygen and ozone in the ultraviolet region. The small amount of very high energy ultraviolet radiation and X-rays in solar radiation is absorbed by the equally small amount of oxygen and nitrogen in the thermosphere and mesosphere. Oxygen and to a smaller extent nitrogen absorbs strongly in the spectral region, and the photon energy is sufficient to both cleave and ionize the molecules and as well as create excited electronic state. Most of the solar radiation of 1 to 200 nanometer parameters into the stratosphere, where there is further absorption by the increasing amount of oxygen, interaction of electromagnetic radiation with Earth's surface. Electromagnetic radiation that passes through the Earth's atmosphere without being absorbed or scattered reaches the Earth's surface to interact in different ways with different materials constituting the surface. Radiation is able to penetrate the materials and pass through it is said to be transmitted. A wavelength of visible light energy from sun is transmitted through the atmosphere, allowing it to come in contact with Earth's surfaces as shown in figure 11. There are three ways in which the total incident energy interact with Earth's surface material. These are absorption, transmission and reflection. How much of the energy is absorbed, transmitted or reflected by a material will depend upon wavelength of the energy, material constituting the surface and condition of the feature. Second phenomena is absorption. Absorption of electromagnetic radiation is the way where energy of a photon is taken up by matter. Thus the electromagnetic energy is transformed into thermal energy of the observer. For example, thermal energy, the reduction in intensity of light wave propagating through a medium by absorption of a part of its photons is often called attenuation. Usually the absorption of wave does not depend on their intensity, although in certain conditions the medium changes its transparency dependently on the intensity of waves going through, and saturable absorption occurs. Measuring absorption, the absorption of the object is depended on the intensity of light absorbed by the matter. Precise measurement of the absorption at many wavelengths allows the identification of substance via absorption spectroscopy, where a sample is illuminated from one side and the intensity of light exciting from all the direction is measured. Example: ultraviolet spectroscopy, infrared spectroscopy, X-ray absorption spectroscopy. Transmission is the process by which incident radiation passes through matter without measurable attenuation. The substance is thus transparent to the radiation. Transmission through material media of different densities causes radiation to be refracted or reflected from a straight line path with an accompanying change in its velocity and wavelength. Frequency always remains constant. Another phenomena occurs is reflection. Reflection is a process in which energy is incident on the surface in such a way and angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. When electromagnetic energy is incident on the surface, it may get reflected or scattered depending upon the roughness of the surface relative to the wavelength of the incident energy. If the roughness of the surface is less than the wavelength of the radiation, or the ratio of roughness to wavelength is less than 1, the radiation is reflected. When the ratio is more than 1, or if the roughness is more than the wavelength, the radiation is scattered. Reflection from surface occurs in two ways. When the surface is smooth, we get a mirror-like or smooth reflection where all of the incident energy is reflected in one direction. This is called specular reflection and give rise to images as figure 12a. When the surface is rough, the energy is reflected uniformly in almost all directions. This is called diffuse reflection and does not give rise to images, as shown in figure 12b. Most surface features of the earth lie somewhere between perfectly specular or perfectly diffuse reflectors. Whether a particular target reflects specular or diffusely or somewhere in between depends on the surface roughness of the feature in comparison to the wavelength of the incoming radiation. If the wavelength are much smaller than the surface variations or the particle size that make up the surface, diffuse reflection will dominate. For example, fine-grained sand would appear fairly smooth to long wavelength microwave but would appear quite rough to the visible wavelengths. Spectral response of materials on Earth. By measuring the energy that is reflected by target on the Earth's surface over a variety of different wavelengths, we can build up a spectral response for that object. The spectral response of a material to different wavelength of electromagnetic radiation can be represented graphically as spectral reflectance curve. It may not be possible to distinguish between different materials if we were to compare their response at one wavelength, but by comparing the response pattern of these materials over a range of wavelengths, we may be able to distinguish between them. For example, water and vegetation may reflect somewhat similarly in the visible wavelength, but are almost always separable in the infrared wavelengths, as shown in figure 14. Spectral response can be quite variable even for the same target type and can also vary with time and locations. Spectral response of vegetation, a chemical compound in leaves called chlorophyll, strongly absorbs radiation in red and blue wavelengths but reflects green wavelengths. Leaves appear greenest to us in the summer when chlorophyll content is at its maximum. In autumn, there is less chlorophyll in the leaves, so there is less absorption and proportionately more reflection of the red wavelengths, making the leaves appears red or yellow, as shown in figure 15. The internal structure of healthy leaves act as excellent diffuse reflectors of near infrared wavelength. If our eyes were sensitive to near infrared, trees would appear extremely bright to us at these wavelengths. In fact, measuring and monitoring the near infrared reflectance is one way that scientists can determine how healthy vegetation may be. Spectral response of water. Longer wavelength visible and infrared radiation is absorbed more by water than shorter visible wavelengths. Thus, water typically looks blue or blue-green due to strong reflectance at these shorter wavelengths and darker if viewed at red or near infrared wavelength. If there is suspended sediments present in the upper layer of water body, then this will allow better reflectivity and a brighter appearance of the water. The apparent color of the water will show a slight shift towards longer wavelengths. Suspended sediments can be easily confused with shallow water. Since these two phenomena appears very similar, chlorophyll in algae absorbs more of the blue wavelengths and reflects the green, making the water appears greener in color when algae are present. The topography of the water surface can also lead to complications for water related interpretation due to potential problems of specular reflection and other influence on color and brightness. We can see from these examples that depending on the complex makeup of the target that is being looked at and the wavelengths of radiation involved, we can observe very different responses to the mechanism of absorption, transmission and reflection. Spectral response of soil. Soil surface is brown to human eyes as it is a combination of green and red electromagnetic radiation. A very little amount of energy transmitted through soil and most of it is either absorbed or reflected. In soil surface, level of reflectance gradually increase with the increase of wavelength in visible and infrared regions. Presence of soil moisture reduces the surface reflectance at all visible wavelengths. Reflectance at near infrared wavelength is also negatively to soil moisture. An increase in soil moisture will result in rapid decrease in reflectance due to water. A clay soil tend to have a strong structure which leads to a rough surface on plowing, causing shadows and lower reflectance. Sandy soils exhibit weak structure which leads to fairly smooth surface. At last, we summarize that energy can be transferred from one matter to another matter by these basic mechanisms that are conduction, convection and radiation. Radiation is energy that comes from a source and travels through some material or through space. All materials radiate thermal energy based on the temperature. Hotter the object, more radiation will occur. Electromagnetic radiation consists of electromagnetic waves which are synchronized oscillation of electric and magnetic fields that travels with the speed of light through vacuum. Electromagnetic radiation interacts with particles and gases in the atmosphere by the mechanism of scattering and absorption. Scattering is an optical phenomena by the radiant energy while interacting with the atmosphere deviate in all directions from its original path. Scattering can be divided into a relay scattering, Mie scattering and non-selective scattering. Relay scattering is responsible for blue appearance of sky and the red sunset. Due to the absorption of radiation through molecules in atmosphere, it results in warming of the lower atmosphere. Electromagnetic radiation is able to penetrate the material and pass through it is said to be transmitted. Most wavelength of visible light energy from sun is transmitted through the atmosphere, allowing it to come in contact with Earth's surface. Absorption occurs when radiation is absorbed into the target, while reflection occurs when radiation bounces off the target and is redirected. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.